Alright guys, so here I am. I've got a lot of the prep work done. I'm still waiting. Butter's just about melted. Got my mix for this recipe, the pork Florentine. Got my pork. I slow cooked it today, 6 hours. Breadcrumbs, butter will go on there. That's the last step in this process. And spinach, which I'm off screen grabbing because I have it in the strainer in the sink here. Got my mixing bowl. Let's see if this will come out easily. Probably not. All right, I'm gonna go over here. So, there we go. I wanted to get the prep work out of the way because it takes a while. I will be posting this recipe out of my cookbook. I'll take a picture of it and post it up on my socials on LifeO Lincoln Instagram. Pictures of Lincoln the Bulldog and his life. Okay, got that one done. 3/4 cup of the sauce mix. I have a smaller. This is for this. Makes life so much easier. All these things that my mother left me for kitchen work, I still utilize all of them. They all serve a purpose. All right, I'm just going to set that in there because eventually the sauce is all going to end up in there. All right. Set that on my cutting board with the pork. Just mix your spinach. And like I said, 3/4 cup of sauce, just so you get the mix together. A little bit of the sauce in the spinach after you've boiled it. It's frozen chopped spinach. Spinach is so good for you. That's why I love this casserole, which I usually only make once a year at the beginning of the year, right after New Year's. Because I don't usually make pork roast any other time. I just, was in a mood this week and I bought a couple small ones. This is going to have way more meat in it than the recipe calls for, just because I'm using a 2-pound pork roast. That's also why I'm making 4 times the recipe. But we will eat it. I mean, we have been known to, what makes us, one recipe makes 6 servings, we will eat half of that a piece the first night. So the bare minimum, I always double it. So there's your base, spinach and sauce. Just gonna set this over to the side here so I can get the next thing of spinach here. All right, that's all clean. All done there. The sauce mix. 3/4 cup scoop. Now, even though I'm using more spinach, I still only use 3/4 cup. Because the rest of this, the sauce is so good. The sauce has mayo. The base is cream of chicken. And mayo, lemon juice, and Worcestershire sauce, and to keep it thick, shredded Swiss cheese, which I bought way too much of and only used what the recipe actually called for. So Lincoln's gonna have Swiss cheese with his dinners for some nights because, well, he's spoiled. we're done with those. Mix this up. Big dish. Set that there for a minute while I spread this. And just like make a nice even layer here. So, yeah, we only usually have this once a year. My father is getting ready to take his trailer, his old camper, down to the river where he has a fishing camp down along the Susquehanna and Juniata River here in Pennsylvania. And there's a couple older guys down there. I always send some containers of leftovers for because, well, the one guy lost his wife. I don't know about the other guy. I don't know if he's just always been single or divorced or what, but my dad shares with him as well, which he appreciates. Okay. So we're going to need a spoon. And used a wooden spoon for this next part. I'm just going to take all my pork. As you can see, it was starting to just fall apart, and I wanted to chop it up a little bit. So I'm trying somewhat evenly distribute this between these two casserole dishes. And my oven's already preheated to 350 degrees. Slow cook the pork roast just in some water. No seasonings because the sauce has enough seasoning in it. Usually the leftovers we have are from pork and sauerkraut and kielbasa for New Year's that I do every year. You know, this slow cooker recipes, they're pretty simple. All right, I'm done with these. Into the sink. Now, that's off. Turn that off. Put the rest of my mix in there. As you can see, now, if you don't like pork, I can imagine you substituting chicken for this, you know. I mean, everything else you could just make, and like I said, just throw chicken in it. I'm going to move this cutting board out of the way so you can see what I'm doing a little better here. Keep the spoon. To mix it, I'm just going to kind of toss it like a salad. Move down here. These things are nice, but they're a little slippery for trying to mix things or cut things on, unless you put like a wet rag underneath, and I don't have one handy. Yeah, mix that sauce and the pork really well. It's not exactly how the recipe calls for it. They say to put the sauce in and then sprinkle the pork on top, and I like it mixed in, especially when the pork has no seasoning to it. You know, it's not going to make that much of a difference how you get it all together, so as long as it has your layer of spinach, then the layer of the mixture, and then the breadcrumbs on top. Here. Okay. I'm just gonna scoop it out. Just about ready. And you put this in the oven uncovered for 25 minutes at 350 degrees. Which then that gives you time to clean up all your mess. You know, do your dishes. By the time you get done doing all the dishes, the pot for this, which I already did some of them. As much as I can out. You know, you never can get it all. I'm gonna set this down here. This there we go. I'm just gonna use the spoon to spread around a little. You can tell the sauce is starting to cool because it's starting to get very thick with that Swiss cheese in there. All right, there's that. That one's done. Now we'll go to the big one. Hope everyone's been having a good week, because this is definitely what I consider to be a comfort food. All right, now that we got those done, get this out of the way here. Now comes all off. Burner's still hot. Yeah, I love this new oven. Hot cooktop. It's that one. So, got our butter melted. Got our breadcrumbs. Just pour that right over top there. Let's see, where's my hand go? Just toss it around a little bit. Get it a little Get butter on all of it. So I'm going to take half the breadcrumbs, a little more than half. Just toss them into here. Hope you can, you can't see that because I'm holding it wrong because I'm left-handed, but a lot of things I do are right-handed, so I always forget, hold the bowl with your left hand, stupid. All right. I'm just going to try and spread them out a little bit. They don't need to completely coat the thing, the dish. They're supposed to be spread out. Once you get that butter on them, they can stick together, which is okay. I mean, they get a little crusty, like croutons. Stay tuned this weekend. I am doing the Dr. Doom Special Edition Iron Studios 1/10 model statue, and Destro and Storm Shadow are going to be coming up this weekend as well. All right, so we got these all made. Into the oven. All right, and that's it, guys. That is pork Florentine, and I'll come up with some other cooking things in the future. This is just one of my favorite casseroles to make. We've got a couple other ones that I think you guys might enjoy, pork related mainly. So, well, you guys have a good night. Hope this made you hungry for dinner, and try it out sometime, all right?